Hi all, welcome to your session number 2. Today's session, like your last session, again we want to work on no more than 10 to 15 minutes of work. Effort level, probably the same, about kind of 5 and 6 out of 10. So 10 being the hardest, 0 being not difficult at all. We're working on that kind of 5 to 6 effort level. If you feel that you're going higher than that, just ease off, reduce the numbers, maybe go a little bit slower, although sometimes going slower with these exercises makes them more difficult. Certainly with weight, we can reduce weight and we can reduce reps, or if again it's too easy, it's a bit irritating, we can increase reps and increase weight. So there's 3 exercises again today. We're going to work on heel raises. So we want to have strong calves, strong ankles and strong feet, because they are the things that get us around on a day-to-day basis. In the heel raises, it's quite good because you'll get a good stretch with those as well. Single arm press, so we want to be able to continue to reach and press overhead quite comfortably. So although we'll be working on strength up here, we'll also be working on flexibility and mobility in those shoulders, and anything overhead, we will get an opportunity to work on core as well. That's the fantastic thing about strength training, is even if you're moving something overhead, or pulling or pushing or squatting, you're always working on engaging the midline first. And I'll go through more technique and more work with you around that. Then we are going down onto the floor and we're working on our static strength in a high plank position. Planks are difficult because you're having to hold all of your body weight in a position, so they're going to be tough. So we have to keep timing down to begin with. And then we increase your timing over the stages. We see the plank kind of position and lots of positions being done incorrectly. So I hope I can give you some really key points today around how to do that, so that we again can kind of push you on to the next level when you're ready. All right, we're going to get started. Equipment-wise, you need a step or something that you can drop your heels from. So I've got this step, but if you've got like a step in the house on the staircase or the front door or anywhere else, that's ideal. Something, if possible, that you're able to drop your heels down on. Now, if you've got something like this and you're doing it here without any support, balance is a problem. Just get something that will help you with your balance. I don't want you worrying about the balance, I want you thinking about what's actually going on in the calf muscles, the back of the legs and the heels and so on. This is lovely when we drop our heels. It's really nice because we get a good stretch in there as well. So that's what I was talking about. The heel raises, we can get some really key flexibility, mobility, as well as strengthening the calf muscles and in around the ankles and feet. If you haven't got something, then standing on the floor is fine, and we'll work on just building up that strength. And then when you go out later on in the day and you come across a step anywhere, you can just hang off the edge of the step, okay, and get a good old stretch in there. The second exercise you're going to do is a pressing overhead. I've got like a 2.5 kilos here, which looks like a technical piece of equipment, but you don't really need a lot of weight for this. So something that is the same weight as a bottle of wine, a bag of sugar would even be a little bit heavier, a bag of flour. If you've got weights, anything between, depends on your strength overhead. Some of us have this natural overhead strength, others will really struggle with it. So find something that you can do 8 to 12 times. So we're going to go for that middle number 10, 12 if you want to push on, 8 if that's enough, and it will depend completely on weight. Okay, so it's something that you can push straight overhead from the shoulder, anywhere between 8 to 12 times. And then the third exercise is a high plank. So we're going to go hands on the floor, shoulders will be over the elbows, elbows over the wrists, and I want to get the sensation of rounding my back, squeezing my bum and tucking my tailbone under. What we don't want is to be in this position. Okay? I want to almost feel like a more rounded. And actually, what you'll feel when you do that is that your core will be working so much more just by changing the technique in that position. So let's get started. We're going to go for 8 to 12 reps of heel raises. Woo! I'm already losing my balance. Alrighty, so even if you have to leave the room and go and do your heel raises, that's absolutely fine. 4 and 5. Good. Now we want to drop down, feel a nice little stretch at the bottom, and then come up to the top. Maybe hold it for a second or two. You should start to feel the burn pretty much halfway through these exercises, or through these heel raises. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I do a lot of my training in my socks because I like to feel the earth underneath me. I like to feel where I'm holding my balance and so on. For those, you might end up feeling like, oh, actually putting a pair of trainers on gives you a little bit more support, or a pair of shoes. So you choose which one makes you feel best, and go with that for now. Okay, single arm press. I'm going to start on my non-dominant side, which is my weaker side, and I'm going to go starting with my weight at my shoulder. My feet are underneath my hips. I'm going to squeeze my bum so that my pelvis tilts under and my rib cage drops down. I'm going to go straight overhead for 10 or 8 to 12 reps. And keep my elbow in slightly on the way down. And keep my arm close to my ear at the top. So I'm going to make a point of touching my arm off my ear, not my head off my arm, because then I'm just tilting my head there. GG. And I can feel a little click in my shoulder, but I'm just not quite warmed up yet. I'm just going to move, get that blood flow, get a little bit more mobile. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So 2.5 kilos and 12 reps. I'm going to switch sides, and I was feeling it in that shoulder. Just because it's the first round as well, quite often you feel it and then get to the next round and it feels a lot better. Good, I'm going to try and bring that elbow in on the way down again. And I have that very top finishing position, check my arm is near my ear, and then elbow in on the way down. Press up. Don't worry too much about the elbow on the way up. Yeah, just get it in on the way down. Make sure everything is stacked. So when we stack the weight onto the wrist onto the elbow onto the shoulder, we'll find we hold weights a lot better in the body. And again, let's pull that rib cage down for 3. Squeeze your bum. 2. And 1. Awesome. Okay, lots of little points there, but we'll keep going through them. Don't worry if what happens is you end up changing one thing and then something else goes and something else goes, and then you remember that thing and remember the other thing. It'll all kind of come together as you repeat. Right, down into your high plank. So we've got, again, stacking those shoulders over elbows. I'm going to squeeze my bum, I'm going to drive my back up into the ceiling for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. And we're back to our heel raises. If you've got any positions like that you're not sure about, like the high plank, and you're like, I'm not sure about my positioning, take a picture of yourself and you'll be able to, or a little video, you'll be able to make some judgments around that. And then compare to somebody who's doing it very well. Hopefully my technique will help. Okay, so we're down, nice little stretch at the bottom. A nice little 2-second hold at the top. I'm going to go for 8 to 12 reps. Already on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you need to stop, stop there, have a good stretch. 11, and 12. Cool. If you start hearing clicks or crunching, I think you're generally good. I think that's just your body waking up and getting moving, and hopefully you'll hear less and less of those as you go through the exercise of the day and over the coming weeks. So we're going to go into our high plank again, shoulders over wrists. I'm squeezing my bum, but at the same time I'm pushing away from the floor, so I feel like my back is rounded. It's a weird feeling, because you don't think that when you think about plank. So we're going to go for another 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Round 2 of 3 done. So, did I forget my presses? I did. Let's go do presses. If you remembered you were pressing and then you're doing a high plank, well done. You carry on. Otherwise, just go along with me. 2, 3, 4. Good. I'm going to pull my ribcage down. I'm going to keep my bum squeezed for this whole round. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Change over. Arm to ear. Stop the weight at shoulder height and drive up from there. And then your elbow will come in slightly on the way down. Good. Next goal is to keep these shoulders away from your ears. So don't let them hunch up into the ear. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, so that's round 2 of 3 done. I'll try not to get mixed up next time. So we're going heel raises, presses, and plank for the last time. A good stretch at the start through those ankles and heels. You can even soften your knees here, and you'll feel a lovely stretch going down in around the Achilles and underneath the foot. If you've suffered from any sort of pain in your lower feet, this is a lovely stretch. Just soften that knee, drop down into the heel. And again, same on the other side. 2-second hold at the top. 3, 4, try to get as high as you can. Hopefully, over the coming weeks, your height will increase. If you've gone through menopause, we use estrogen, as you'll know. And as well as our pelvic floor is dropping, so too do our arches in our feet. So we have to continue to train our feet, keep them strong, so that we can maintain those arches and that ability to be up here on your toes. Good. 3 more. I'm getting burning already. 2. And 1. Ooch. Okie dokie. We're right into our last set of presses. So again, I'm going to start on my non-dominant side. So the side that I feel weaker on, tighter, for whatever reason, it just feels a little bit more awkward. There can be different reasons for that. I'm going to start with my feet underneath my hips, squeeze my bum so my tailbone tucks under, drop my rib cage. I'm going to try and keep my rib cage down so I can focus in on this as a core exercise as well as a strength exercise and an overhead mobility. So there's loads going on. You think you're just pressing something overhead, but actually we can get so much out of something like this. Good. Right, 6 more reps. Let's go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Okay, same on the other side. Starting with the weight at shoulder height. Keep your feet underneath your hips. Tuck your tailbone under, pull that ribcage down. Let's make it a core exercise as well as a pressing one. 4. Let's do a big exhale on that push. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12. Awesome. Okay, last high plank, 10 to 15 seconds. If you want to go a little bit longer for your last rep, please do. If you want to, if you're struggling with this for whatever reason, just do the seconds that you can do, record them, and then you're going to be trying to beat those seconds, and you will beat those seconds over time because you'll be doing regular strength stuff. So, just emphasize this stacking of body weight again in this upper body. So shoulders, elbows, wrists. Then I'm going to lift my bum off the floor. It'll be the balls of my feet in arches that will lift, and then I'm going to push up into the ceiling. This is not an easy exercise. I'm already up at around 7, 8 out of 10 here. For 5, 4, 3, squeeze your bum, 2, and 1. Awesome. Well done. Okay, fantastic. So again, we're up to about 16, 17 minutes on my clock, but I did natter at you at the beginning, and we are taking things nice and steady, and that's what we want. I don't want you to be dying at this stage. And that's why keeping a record and knowing where you're at. So a really good example is a high plank like that. If 5 seconds is an absolute killer for you, then 5 seconds is your cut-off point, and then we work to 7 seconds, and then we work to 8 seconds, and then 10 seconds, and so on. So keep it at your pace. Excellent work today. Thanks for getting on to this second session. Hopefully give yourself a rest day, and again, drink plenty of water. This should improve and help you improve sleep, and I will see you in 2 days. Get out and go walking. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.